Sure. Well, all eyes right now are, of course, on that east coast of North Korea. Why, General, would they do this missile placement there? Two possible missiles along that coast. Why?
Tom, the East Coast is closer to the United States' presence in the region and its allies, Japan, South Korea, certainly. They didn't put it on the West Coast because they're not trying to threaten China.
That's simple enough right there.
Absolutely.
Let's bring in what we're talking about here. We'll get rid of this and bring in a model of the type of missile we're talking about, the Musudan that Barbara mentioned a minute ago. This was originally designed to be used by Soviet submarines. The Iranians have a version of this called the Shahab. It doesn't look like much of a missile. There are no fins on it. But let's talk a little bit more about it, because one of the real keys here is the mobility, right? We always see it in parades like this. Why does that matter so very much?
This is a mobile missile system. It can go anywhere and can launch from any location. All it needs is a piece of level terrain, and within minutes, Tom, this thing can launch.
And let's talk about the capabilities of this as well. We're going to bring in some of the stats on this. Fairly big, and a lot of different ways in which it can be presented, yes?
Tom, this is about 40 to 60 feet in length. It's got a payload of about 2.5 tons, but what's important is the warhead. We do not anticipate that it has a nuclear warhead at all. We think it's high explosive.
So HE, high explosive, that's the concern right
Correct.
there. And yet when you talk about a high explosive weapon like this, the question does become range, what it can hit. Let's bring in the map and talk about that a little bit, because as Barbara pointed out, you're talking about maybe 2,500 miles, possibly a 1 or 2 stage missile. If it's 2 stages, it might be able to get that far, not so much at 1 stage, and it becomes somewhat